located right now in the south of Mexico, in the state of Quintana Roo.
Okay.
And usually travel between Quintana Roo and the Yucatan Peninsula because our headquarters are in Mérida, Yucatan.
Okay, which is pretty close to Cancun, right?
I am now really close to Cancun in an island called Cozumel.
Oh, pretty cool. I believe that recently you have the Ironman, right? There in Cozumel.
This Saturday and Sunday was the Ironman. The half Ironman.
The half Ironman. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
it was the 10th anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to the first Ironman about 3 years ago. There, the half Ironman that they have, and I love Cozumel. It's a pretty cool island. It's pretty nice.
It's a great event.
Yeah. So, well, we have a person that just raised their hand, Balaji. I'm gonna allow you to speak. Do you have a question? Now you're on mute, but you can unmute yourself.
Hey, hi everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing well too. Thank you. Do you have any question?
No. Like after your conversation, in case of anything, I will call. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Well, that's it. We're gonna start with this event right now. This discussion panel is called Analyzing Blockchain. Raimundo Camara is an expert on this subject, so I'm positive that we will learn a lot from this conversation. As I said earlier, please feel free to leave your question on the Q&A section at the bottom part of the screen, so we can read it out loud and get an answer from Raimundo. Before we start, I would like to give just a little bit intro to our company, Symbiosis. We're a platform for connecting tech companies in the US with software agencies across Latin America that have available talent. If you're looking for developers in React, or backend, front-end development, or even in blockchain, you can find them using our platform. We have partners specialized like Avocado where Raimundo is the owner. They can provide excellent talent to your company. So without further ado, I would like to start by asking you, Raimundo, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who's Raimundo Camara?
Yes, thank you for the invite, Omar, first to this webinar. Well, I'm Raimundo is my name. I grew up in the south of Mexico between Yucatan and Quintana Roo. And then I went to Mexico City for my studies. I'm a computer engineer, and I've been working in several companies in the IP and in government also. And since 2018, we decided to create a startup called Avocado Blockchain Services. And we saw the opportunity of searching for talent in Mexico, and then incorporate this talent into a program that we create to turn them into blockchain engineers. And then we put these engineers in projects all around the world. We saw the lack of engineers, of blockchain engineers. We went to a summit in Switzerland in 2017, and that event opened our eyes that this technology was going to change not only the cryptocurrencies world, that this technology was going to be applied in all industries. And we saw this great potential, and we saw that there were not too many people that were able to program in Solidity and all these platforms that companies were searching for. So we were working with government, recruiting people in the south of Mexico, and we already knew that Mexicans were very good to learn new technologies. So we started. We are a very fresh company because blockchain is very new, but we're getting getting a lot of clients now, and we're working not only in the financial industry. We're now working in a lot of kind of projects, even artistic projects now with the non-fungible tokens that everyone is talking about, these NFTs.
Yeah.
So that's my background.
It is impressive, Raimundo. And for all of us that we're just starting to learn a little bit more about blockchain, and we're just getting used to get bombarded by all this news on the social media and everything, everyone talking about cryptocurrencies. So could you please explain us what is blockchain in general terms?
That's the key question. I always like to simplify the concept because it could be very complex, but at the end, it's a network of storage. It's similar to a database. The difference to a database with blockchain is that blockchain is a decentralized database. It's a ledger that is decentralized. And when I mean decentralized, I mean that the copies of this database are inside computers all around the world. You know?
Okay.
This information is organized and linked in cipher blocks. These blocks are linked together, and that is why it's called a blockchain.
Okay. Okay.
The computers that have a copy of this information are called nodes, and these nodes, what they do is that they verify the transactions.
Okay.
Another term important in blockchain is to understand is what is a miner. A miner is a computer that creates new blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And what they earn are rewards. The blocks are created using mathematical algorithms. There are puzzles that have to be solved, and the miner who solves the puzzle is rewarded with some Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the concept of miner, that's the concept of node, and that's the concept of the information that is inside of these blocks. So at the end, the simplified concept is blockchain is a network of trust.
Okay.
It's a platform that assures you that the information that is inside it was not tampered.
Okay.
Because the biggest blockchain, well, maybe not the biggest, the most decentralized blockchain nowadays, it's Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Okay.
The technology was born with Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. In the white paper of the peer-to-peer transaction, electronic transaction of Bitcoin was described the blockchain. Now there are several blockchains around the ecosystem of blockchain. There are several kinds of blockchains that are used for different things, not only for electronic money. They are used for a lot of things. The other important thing to know about blockchain is that the second biggest blockchain is Ethereum.
Ethereum, yeah.
And what Ethereum did is that the blockchain of Ethereum not only storage transactions, it's storage the contracts, smart contracts.
Okay.
So now with Ethereum you have programmable money,
mm-hmm.
and that's very, very powerful because you can put into a smart contract all the rules you want to be executed by whatever variables you want. And that's the power of the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah, that's very impressive. And I remember that, it all started with Bitcoin. Then, like I mentioned, Ethereum started like at the second biggest option out there. And then we started getting all these other cryptocurrencies and then all the other applications for blockchain, like you mentioned. And this leads me to my next question. One thing that we realize in the software development industry is that we are kind of transitioning from the normal technologies that we use for front end or back end development, and we're also complementing them with blockchain technologies. Some of them are asking for a node developer that also has experience working with with blockchain. So what will be the main reason for this? What is the extra value that blockchain is providing to these platforms?
Well, the value of blockchain is that blockchain provides you with immutability, transactionability, because all the transactions that are stored in the blockchain are you can follow them. You can see from day zero to nowadays, you can see all the transactions. So that's very powerful but also you have to be aware that it's not a technology that has to be in all kind of projects. Sometimes, because now it's mainstream, a lot of projects want to incorporate blockchain into their projects, and not all projects needs blockchain. We have to be careful to decide when when blockchain really is going to bring to your project utility, because otherwise blockchain also, there are very challenging things with blockchain. Maybe the most important is about scalability or speed, you know. These issues are now being handled by what it's called second layer blockchains, because they are the first layer blockchains that are like Bitcoin and Ethereum, that nowadays they are very saturated, and the transactions can be very expensive. Is what it's called the gas fee. So the fees for a transaction in a blockchain like Ethereum now, it's very, very high. We're talking about $50 to $100 per transaction.
Okay.
So maybe it's not useful for money remittances now today.
Yeah.
You know? But now, so there are the second layer blockchains that solve these kind of problems of the fees and the speed. And at the end, the second layer blockchains, what they do is they storage, but only in one transaction, a group of a set of information. Using that protocol, they can be cheaper. The fees can be cheaper, and the speed can increase considerably.
Be faster. Okay, okay. And in that case, that is a very important point that you mentioned. Like not all projects need blockchain, right? Like
they think they need, but not.
Yeah, I mean this buzzword, right? Like when everyone starts talking about machine learning and artificial intelligence, and then we start talking about blockchain, we all want to incorporate these new technologies to our project in a certain way, but sometimes it is not required. So.
No. But when you have the information centralized, and it's easier to have a relational database or another kind of database that you can have, you can create a product with a lot of speed, and you really need blockchain when you are aware that it's going to be, that the information has to be untampered, and no one, and to assure that the information has not been altered. So if your project can assure the security,
that's it. Yeah, I remember hearing a founder that he was in the healthcare industry, and he was creating like a medical report platform where everyone can register their information, and all the doctors can review the information from these individuals. So they really thought that they could implement blockchain in order to protect that information, like you mentioned, right?
Those kind of projects that they manage very sensitive information, blockchain makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And Raimundo, what do you think it will be like the next steps for blockchain? I mean, like in the near future, how do you think this technology will evolve? And does it make sense for people to continue to learn more about blockchain, or they can, if they have a project that don't require blockchain right now, can they continue to grow with their normal technologies out there, or should they start always look to blockchain and learn and see if they can implement it in a near term or something?
Well, it's a really disruptive technology, so I think blockchain, it's going to be around for a long time. It will evolve like all technologies. As I was telling you, now we have these second layer blockchains that they are solving the problems of the big ones of the first layer blockchains. But I think it will evolve in. It will be, the academic world considered blockchain as a general purpose technology. There are very few technologies that are considered like this. Internet is a general purpose technology. So this a general purpose technology is a technology that it's going to be used almost but by all industries.
Okay.
So that I think that answers your question.
Yeah. Eventually, it will become like the
everyone will use it, and maybe it's going to be like a black box. You know, you don't know how it works. You don't know anything. You have the end user application, and you know there's blockchain behind that.
Yeah, I believe
Most of people don't know about relational databases or artificial intelligence, and maybe they think they are talking with a person and it's a chatbot.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's a black box, you know? So these kind of technologies at the end are black boxes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe that most of us, we don't have an idea of how internet works in a certain way, right? Like, so, but we use it every day and all the time. So like you mentioned, blockchain is gonna have a profound impact on how we interact with technology, even if we're not aware of it. So that's a very, very interesting.
And the important thing of blockchain is that when you have this kind of trust network, you're able to create these new applications that involve a lot of people that you don't know, but you can trust in the platform, you know, and that the friction of the transactions is
decrease, right? Like, yeah. That's very interesting. I would like to go deeper on understanding blockchain on that specific application. I would like to remind our audience that you can ask questions through to the Q&A chat that we have at the bottom part of the screen. Please feel free to write down your question. I will read it out loud so we can get an answer. You can be as specific as you want. Raimundo is an expert here on blockchain, so we can have great value from his responses. So one thing that we get asked a lot from entrepreneurs is if they are not a technical founder, right? This is the first time that they are planning to build a software product, and they are getting options from CTOs or other people or more technical people that are providing like feedback to them, and they try to understand how it works. These technologies. One thing that they ask us a lot is how can they bet a good developer on the blockchain part, right? Because if they're not technical and this is a very new technology, maybe their CTOs are not an expert yet on blockchain. Yeah. So how can they be sure that they are incorporating a good people?
You know, that it's very difficult because, as I told you, there are several blockchains, and each blockchain has their own protocol, and sometimes different programming languages. You know, like I put you an example. If you're an enterprise that are building a financial product and you are going to use Ethereum and smart contracts, what I recommend you to search for is for a developer that understands Solidity, because Solidity is the programming language on Ethereum, you know. But there are hundreds of blockchains. Solana is another blockchain. The programming language is Rust. So it's very difficult. And at the end, the blockchain developer has to interact with the UX developer for the front end and with full stack developers, because at the end, sometimes the most difficult part is to integrate everything.
Okay.
So I think it really depends on the project. At the end, maybe bottom line, what you need to do first is to find a software architect who can have a very abstract idea of the concept, and then decide in a more profound way which blockchain are going to use, what kind of programming language. And when you have all those information, then you can search for the right people.
Okay, that's very interesting, and this also applies to your company in this case because you run an agency specialized on blockchain.
Yeah.
So how do you establish those frameworks from the beginning, and then how do you evaluate those new developers that you are hiring and then assigning to other projects? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I was not the creator. My partner, the co-founder of Avocado, his name is Sigmar. He created from scratch because there was not like a guideline for a blockchain developer because it was because like universities, they don't have in their programs now like blockchain technologies. So there are some postgraduate programs in the MIT and in other universities, but they handle the concept of blockchain in a very executive way, not in a very technical way. So we create our own program of how to introduce to developers to this technology and how to. It's like an algorithm. At the end, you have to understand the mechanics and the protocol. And if you're switching from one blockchain to another, you only have to do is to learn the new language of the blockchain. You know, it's like when you create the algorithm, you can program that algorithm in Java or in C++ or whatever. You only need to learn the new language. So that's what we try to do. We try to create blockchain engineers that they can understand the protocol of blockchain. Okay. So when they come to a project, it's easier for them only to maybe to learn very few new things about the project to really deliver good code or good ideas for the project.
Okay, yeah, and I believe that is more like a process, right? Like you mentioned in this case that an engineer.
It's a very complex process. Like we recruit people that usually come from IT areas, like a computer engineer, and it takes for Avocado from 3 to 6 months to have a blockchain engineer ready to be incorporated into a project.
Okay, yeah, it's a long time, right? Like it's not like, okay, if you're a computer science engineer, you're ready.
There are a lot of things involved, like cryptography, algorithms, computer engineering. There are a lot of things involved in blockchain.
Okay. We do have now a couple of questions on the chat. I'm going to read it out loud. I want to remind the audience that you can put these questions in the Q&A section on the screen, right next to the raise your hand button here at the part. But I'm going to read the first one from Dan. Can you give examples of how NFT is beneficial and explain the NFT?
Okay, explain NFT. NFT is an acronym for non-fungible token. Okay, and to explain NFT first, you have to understand the word fungible. That it's
yeah.
Okay, fungible means that it's unique. You know, let's try to explain it with an example. If I lend you $100, you can pay me back with 250s or 520s. And for me, it's the same because money is fungible.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I lend you my car, okay, imagine my car, it's a red Chevy, and I lend you my car. It's not acceptable that you gave me back a white Chevy, even if it's the same year or anything. It's not acceptable.
It's a different car, right?
My car is non-fungible.
Okay.
That's the concept of fungibility.
Okay.
So a token that it's not non-fungible, it means that it's unique. And what is being used nowadays is for property and ownership of digital art. So for the digital art community, it was very difficult to monetize their work, you know, because if I sell you a GIF or an image, you can copy that image, and at the end, everyone can own the image because it's 0 or 1s at the end. It's digital. So now, but imagine that you can put this property into a token and then save that token in a blockchain. Now you can prove that you are the owner of that piece of digital art.
Okay.
Very, very powerful for artists nowadays, because anything digital. So it not only applies to illustration. It can be music. It could be photography. It could be a GIF, JPG, anything. And I think in the world of gaming, it's going to be very, very useful for the world of gaming, for arts, and also in government. Why in government? Because you can turn a document into an NFT, and then you can prove that it's yours, that document, and that no one altered that document.
Okay.
You can stamp documents as an FIT and storage them in the blockchain, and that could be useful for government, for companies, for everyone.
For individuals, even, right? Like when you're buying something, and okay, that's very interesting. And
your driving license can be turned into an NFT.
Okay. And I mean, other people can buy those tokens from you, right?
Token is on the blockchain, and then you can transact that token.
Okay.
No? You prove two things: that
the ownership,
and you prove also that it's not a counterfeit. That it was created for that by that person, an entity, an artist, a government, whatever, and then you can transact in a blockchain that token. You can assign a price to that token and you can transact it. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
That's why that's how NFTs are now transacted. Like 90% of the NFTs are nowadays transacted in the Ethereum blockchain, and that is causing a lot of problems to Ethereum because the hash rate is the volume of transactions.
Okay.
So the hash rate of Ethereum is very, very high now, and what happens with the hash rate growing? That the fees are more expensive.
Okay. Yeah, as you mentioned at the beginning, right? That there are now every transaction is $50 or $100.
Yeah, and in Bitcoin, every transaction now maybe is $2 or $3.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is opening a new market then, right? These NFTs, they are opening a new market for individuals.
The technology is going to be used by a lot of industries. I think artists, they are using right now, but the next industry that is going to use it is the gaming industry. Imagine you're in a game and you collect an item, and that item is an NFT. Then you can sell it in a marketplace, that item.
Okay.
You can bridge the virtual world into the real world and monetize your gaming.
Your time that you're spending gaming. Exactly. Wow, that's impressive.
Nowadays, it is those gaming farms in Asia, they are doing that.
Okay.
But those are pools of gamers that are creating new characters and they are selling them. But it's not regulated. NFTs can bring this into a platform, in a marketplace that doesn't need a third party.
That's impressive, and that's pretty interesting. And like you mentioned,
we will see young people, 10 years old, earning money playing.
Yeah. That's wow. That's amazing. I believe that it's gonna change so deeply that. I don't know. Sometimes you get like a resistance to the change, right? Like, okay, but you need to be prepared and you need to be aware of those changes. We have another question here. Are there any technical certifications you would recommend for blockchain?
Yeah. Well, B9 Labs, I think they have some certifications. It really depends in what you want to be certificated. Maybe you want to be certificated as a blockchain architect, or you want to be certificated in a programming language to be used in blockchain, like Solidity or Rust But yeah, there are in the internet there are a lot of certifications. Coursera have some certifications also, and there are other certifications like the MIT has a core. The MIT Sloan School has a program that is called Technology for Decision Makers. And that's another certification that it's very useful.
Okay. That's pretty interesting.
It really depends if you're a very technical person or you are more executive.
Okay, and if you're looking to hire people, should you look for a specific certification on them? I understand it depends on the role that they will be playing, but is there any one that you recommend for when you're looking to hire, for example, in your company?
The thing is that it really depends on the kind of project. If you are looking to hire a blockchain specialist, you go into the Symbiosis webpage and look.
Nice. Thanks. Okay.
You really need to interview the person you are going to hire and see if he has the skills you need.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree on that. We have another question. There are several layer 1 blockchains at the moment. They are all competing for DeFi. What will happen in the future? Will one rule them all, or will they apps create a version for every major layer 1 blockchain out there, as is happening now?
Really hard to know what is going to happen, but most of DeFi is the acronym for decentralized finance. And
okay.
We have to spend. Let's just explain what is this decentralized finance. These are financial services that are offered through blockchain applications. That's DeFi. Okay, it's to recreate the financial services like an exchange or like loans that you can put your crypto in collateral, and a platform can give you a loan. You know. Mm-hmm. And now DeFi, it's making a lot of buzz in a lot of, there are a lot of Uniswap, there are a lot of applications. But yeah, most of DeFi projects are nowadays also in Ethereum. Okay. But there are new layer 1 blockchains that have very powerful solutions. Avalanche has have some applications. And I think at the end, we will have like from 5 to 10 main blockchains that are going to handle 90% of transactions.
Okay. That's very interesting. We should be able to recognize those companies once they're starting, so we can learn from them, right?
And you see, because if you go deep into the project of the blockchain, if you see the team and how it's organized and what's the roadmap of the blockchain, you can predict which blockchains are going to be in the future.
The top options out there. That's pretty interesting. We have another question. You talk about the problems of first layer blockchain, speed and price, gas fee. That are solved by second layer blockchain. However, I have a question about maybe another problem, the storage. Does the blockchain database can grow too big to fit on a disk? After some years, each node needs a full copy of the blockchain database?
Yeah, storage is another problem for sure. And you pay for each byte on the blockchain. So yeah, no, I really think that we are going to be using platforms like the IPFS, that is an acronym for Interplanetary File System. And most of the NFTs are saved into the IPFS system. So in the blockchain, you only are saving a pointer to that platform, and the IPFS platform is a decentralized storage platform.
Okay.
Very, very interesting. The name is like very futuristic, because their thinking of the interplanetary is that this kind of decentralized technology is in the future how we are going to manage the storage between planets, between the Earth and Mars. How is going to work this connection is maybe going to work into a decentralized platform like the interplanetary file system.
Wow, that's impressive. That's looking like, I don't know, like 50 years from now. Well, we never know, right? With Elon
We
Musk,
never know.
maybe we will change that
Maybe Elon
sooner.
Musk will put near future some people.
That's right. That's right. We have Rosanna asking, can you include these certification companies here so I can see the spelling? I mean, like in the chat, so they can see. Um, yeah, I don't know. Ray, do you have like any certification that we can share on the chat so they can take a look on them?
A very technical certification.
Yeah, I mean, like the ones that come to the top of your mind, and we might be able to share.
Okay, let me. I will put you here the B9 Lab webpage,
Yeah,
and I think you can find there all kinds of certifications.
awesome. Yeah, I see on the chat that someone else also shared the academy.b9lab.com. Okay.
We use B9 Lab a lot.
Okay.
They have very well curated content.
Okay, that's great. We have a couple of questions here on the other chat, on the Q&A chat from Samuel. Real artistic objects as a sculpture and ceramic can be NFT'd using the verb. Yeah.
That's a common question. Yeah, you can import. You can sometimes what I see it's happening. There are artists that they have the physical art, the physical art, like a sculpture or like a physical painting. Sometimes they take a photograph, and that photograph they turn it into an NFT, and that can be your certificate of property.
Okay. Okay.
You have the physical. There are artists now that they say, I do the transaction of the selling through the NFT platform, but I deliver to you the physical one.
Okay. And there's another step for, I don't know, you need to verify that same physical object is the one.
There are also in the wearables, like there's a tennis shoe company that it's called Satoshi, and they are putting a QR code into all their tennis shoes, so you can scan the code and see that it's original.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool.
Another use case.
Yeah. Okay, we have a question from Lindsay. How do you become a blockchain engineer? I believe that you already shared some of the first steps that someone has to take, becoming a computer science engineer first, and then enter.
First, I have to tell you, I'm not a blockchain engineer.
Okay.
I'm not in. I work as the CFO of the company, and I took the MIT certification of blockchain, and I understand how the technology works, but I do not now program on blockchain.
Okay.
I'm more into the abstract part, and I'm more like a architect software, where to decide what technology to use, but I am not coding.
Okay. And what will be the first recommendation for someone that wants to code, that wants to be doing some coding for a project?
I think that the first thing to do is to check the blockchains that are trending.
Okay.
Like Ethereum, like maybe Solana, Avalanche. Go into their web pages, study the protocol, then go into B9 Lab and all these Coursera, these all platforms where you can take courses, and then you have to be very self-instructed, nowadays there's not a place that you can go and be handled with a certificate that you're a blockchain engineer.
Yeah.
You have to prove yourself.
Okay. We have one question from Samuel. How will metaverse technology compare to blockchain?
How do metaverse technology compare to blockchain? Well, metaverse, what they are saying about metaverse is this kind of different scenarios where technology is, like you have the NFT, a collection of NFTs, and then you can create a metaverse of this collection into another kind of maybe physical asset. Okay. So when you're talking about metaverses, you're talking about these different scenarios. Some of them are physical, some of them are virtual, but they are in some way they are correlated between each other.
Okay. That's great. So just for to finish a little bit this conversation that we were having right now, what will be like your main recommendation for someone that is just starting to build a product and is getting immersed in all these blockchain technologies? What will be like your main advice to them?
First of all, to be to focus on of the objective they want to go. No, like if you want to work in a company that is developing blockchain applications, you have to prove yourself of your skills. So it's very important that you self-educate. It's the only way. It's the only way to really put out a lot of time into it. Mm-hmm. It's not a magical thing that you're going to convert into a blockchain engineer. It takes time, it takes patience, and a lot of effort.
Yeah, I totally understand and I totally agree with you. It's like when you're learning something new, right? Like you have to spend several hours on that. You have to be
and also you have in short way to have some talent to it. Maybe you have to, well, but it's a self-conviction. Like if you know you have the talent, go for it. If you see that it's too much trouble for you, maybe you are into other kind of things.
Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna share the recording of this conversation with all of the attendees today. You will receive an email. And Raimundo, where they can reach out to you, if you could share your company name, your information.
The company name is Avocado. I put it here in the chat. It's Avocado Block. Avocado Blockchain Services. Okay. The webpage is avocadoblock.com. You can reach the company there. There's a section that it's called Join the Team, where you can start the process with us to become a blockchain engineer and work for us. Our social networks, the Twitter account is Avocado Block. Okay, and my personal Twitter and Telegram, I put it here for Twitter and Telegram.
Perfect. That's awesome. I really recommend you guys, if you have any questions regarding blockchain, you can reach out directly to Raimundo. I'm pretty sure that he will be able to help you out with any information you require on that. Symbiosis will be happy to help you. If you're looking to hire developers from the blockchain community, you can find developers from Avocado here at Symbiosis. He's our top partner. So we'll be happy to help you out. So please, if you have any questions for Raimundo, you can also tell us. We will be sending an email with all this presentation, the recording, and you can, if you want to connect with Raimundo, we'll be happy to help you out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the invite, Tomar.
Raimundo, it was a pleasure for us. It was very nice to have you today, and we very much appreciate your time and your experience, and that you were so open to tell us about the blockchain technology. We hope to have you soon back in this event.
For sure. As I told you at the beginning, if we can convince one person into this is going to change the future, we've done a
good job. Awesome. I agree, and we will leave our attendees to confirm that. We very much appreciate your time today, all of you, and we hope that we all learned something today. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.